Good evening, guys. Sanbonani, Miss P here for Progressive View. Welcome to our podcast as well as our YouTube channel. Super excited to be here today. This is going to be a short video, but I'm coming on today to encourage you to speak to you because we all need a little bit of a motivation every time. We all go through life and life is hectic, but a little bit of a motivation goes a long way. So what are we talking about today? So today we're talking about celebrating the small wins to boost our confidence. It's important that we look at the small little things that we win every day so that we can, get a little bit of glory out of it. Because I think all of us, just like every human being, everybody's waiting for this big thing, this huge thing that must happen. But it's the small little steps that you make every day that actually make an impact, right? And we forget to celebrate these wins. You know what, Ne? If you had a goal, if you took a step towards the goal that you're wanting to do, celebrate that. If it means, for instance, if you're writing a book, right? So when I was writing my book, which is coming out soon, guys, watch out for it. So when I was writing my book, I remember I used to get through days where it was hard just to write a paragraph alone, let alone 2 pages or 3 pages, because the goal was to write at least 5 pages on a daily basis because I had put on a target for myself. I never celebrated the wins where I had written a paragraph because I'm just thinking, oh my god, I didn't achieve 5 pages, right? So I'm coming on to you today to say it's important that you celebrate those wins, because those wins are the ones that give you the confidence to come on tomorrow to do a little bit better, right? So let's dive right into it. First thing is, even though you have not reached your goal, let the small achievement excite you. It's the excitement of the little things that you've done. Think about it, right? If you wanted to achieve a goal, I don't know what your goal may be at this point in time, but the fact that you've made a step or a contribution or in action towards that goal, let that excite you. Remember, it's the excitement that propels you to go on to the next step, right? So please, it doesn't matter what that achievement is. It doesn't, right? Because I made the mistake of not celebrating the little wins that I was making with my book, that you'll find that I'm just like, what is a paragraph? And I stopped writing for the entire week because one day derailed me, right? So, and I realized after just having a chat with my coach that, you know what, that is a win. As small as it was a win. A paragraph alone, it was a win, right? So it's a step better or step forward from where I was, right? A page or a paragraph better from where I was. And the next thing, we need to celebrate the wins in order to build our confidence, because if you do not celebrate them, your confidence dies. You just feel like, oh, I'm building this house. Imagine putting one brick. Let's pretend you're building this house. You're done with the foundation, but you are just putting on one brick onto this house. You're probably going to feel like you're not making much of a progress, because you're thinking, oh my god, there's still like 1,000 more, if not more than that, bricks that needs to go on there. It doesn't matter. Celebrate that one brick, because that one brick is the one that's going to motivate you to wake up tomorrow and go on and put on another brick, right? And I think after I learned that lesson, I have now put that into my life to say, it doesn't matter what project I'm doing, doesn't matter the goal that I want to do, but as long as I've made some sort of a progress into that in that space of a situation or project that I'm in, it doesn't matter how big it is. You know what? I celebrate. If it means I must go buy myself my favorite smoothie, then I go buy myself that favorite smoothie. Or if it means I must go for a massage just to celebrate that I've done something towards that goal, I do that. And I suggest you do the same thing, right? Remember, life is not about rushing to the goal. It's about enjoying the process through the goal. And that's the mistake that we all make. We all want to rush through it. And life is just about enjoying the journey through that process. Imagine you wanting to make 100 million, right? You've put a 5-year target to do that. But meaning within this 5 years, you're never going to celebrate. You're never going to be happy. You're just going to be like focused on this goal. No. By the time you reach that 100 million goal, you're just going to look back and like, oh, I lost that on 5 years. It's all about enjoying the moments and the journey towards that goal that you're wanting to do, right? Sometimes things can be out of your control. Of course it's true, because remember, life happens in between all our planning. You can plan and schedule and do all you can, but life happens. For instance, a child could get sick, a parent could pass away, a lot of things could happen, right? I remember when I started writing my book, my mom passed away in that process, and that completely derailed me, right? In writing it, it was not part of the process. I didn't know that I had to mourn somewhere in between the process, right? So there are things that are out of your control. You can only do so much within your control, but there are things that are external that will require you to actually just let it be, and accept that sometimes things are going to be out of your control, and you can just work around the circumstances. So when things that are out of your control happen, it can rain, there could be a storm, there could be COVID as an example that happened. That's out of your control. Just work with that and accept that that is out of your control, and just work around that. Find strategies and way to work around that. All right. And then the next thing is to take a step back and ask yourself, what can you do to make the best of the situation? For instance, COVID happened. A lot of people lost their jobs. A lot of people had to work from home for the first time in their lives. They've never had to, right? And a lot of people's businesses closed, and a lot of people lost their loved ones. So the question is, when the situation happened, what do you do? Sometimes you just gotta step back, and it's okay to step back, relook at the situation. There's a saying that says when you are closer to the mountain, you can't see it. You can't see how big it is. You can't see how beautiful it is, because you're just like too close to it. Sometimes you just gotta step back. I know that when I'm landing, coming from Joburg, when I land in Cape Town, or from anywhere else for that matter, the Table Mountain just looks tiny, right? Then when I'm actually climbing the mountain, it just looks humongous, right? Sometimes you gotta take a step back and just be like, let me recalculate, or let me relook at things, because really sometimes you have to do that. Some things are out of your control, just like I said in the previous point, but sometimes you gotta just step back, relook at the situation and be like, how can I re-strategize here? What can I do to basically take myself to my goal, right? So you gotta do that. Stepping back is very important, right? And then the next thing is that even the smallest of things, like making your bed, you should celebrate them, right? Don't wait for the big wins. No, don't, right? Celebrate the little things that you need to make. If you can't find a reason to celebrate your life right now, celebrate that you woke up this morning, right? And that you made your bed. It's as simple as that. It starts there, right? Stop making yourself feel guilty, and stop comparing yourself to your friends, to your neighbor. Remember, we're all here for different reasons. We are all here on our different paths, right? Our different lanes. Stay in your lane. Whatever your lane is, if it's going slow at 40, just keep at it. God knows why it's staying at 40, because if you actually accelerate to 100, you could just die before you even make it, right? So stay in your lane and know that God wants you to be in that lane, right? Focus on the good things than the bad things. That's the last one. Focus on the good things and the bad things. There's always going to be things that you don't want to celebrate. There's always going to be there's always going to be unplanned situations that come to derail you, to take you off course. But those things are just part of the situation. Celebrate the good things that happens. There's some people that see the glass half full, and there's people that see the glass half empty. So which person are you? Are you seeing it half full, or are you seeing it half empty? Look, I choose to see the glass as half full, because it means the glass will be full at some point. So please, when life happens, when situations happen, when life is throwing you hails and it's raining and you just feel like, oh my God, I'm never going to get out of this, or I'm never going to reach my goal, remember that there's always little things that you can celebrate. If anything, look back at what you've done already and celebrate that, right? Guys, I'm out. I hope the message was relevant for someone out there, even if it's one person. I hope you have yourself a wonderful evening. We're already in April. Make April your a beautiful month. Like, it doesn't matter how slow you're going, even if it's at a snail pace, but you'll get there. I love you guys. This is Miss P for Progressive You. Have a wonderful evening. Take care. Bye, yo.